FLL changed my life. Whoa. I'll tell you when I find out. The answer is even funnier. That's an even deeper question.
This right here is a very special episode because today we're interviewing one of the longest standing members of Team Greece, which is also a member of the second generation of Greek FTC teams. So, let's put Tasos Tsakiridis into the green light. Hello Tasos,
Hello, George.
it's great to having you on the show this afternoon.
It's nice to be here.
So, let's begin. Let's get to know you. So, tell to the audience some things about yourself.
Okay, so Tsakiridis Anastasios, I'm 16 years old. I'm a high school student. Um, I really like robotics. I want to be a mechanical engineer. I aspire to be a mechanical engineer, and maybe aerospace engineering is something that really interests me. My journey in robotics starts in my school, where I had the chance to be able to participate in a team for the FLL competition, First Lego League. I've been participating in this competition since fifth grade, and right now I'm mentoring the team, Robothood. Um, and that's really fun to be able to share my experiences and share this whole spirit of FIRST that starts with FLL for many of us. Um, yes, that's it about FLL. Then about the FTC, I'm a member of Thunderbolts team, as you know. There, I am the head of the mechanical department and the captain of the driving team. Also, for the first global challenge, I've participated in the FGC2. Right now, I just came back from Panama City, where the competition took place. And our team, the national Greek robotics team, uh, managed to take the third place in the Zhangjiang Award, the third Zhangjiang Award for engineering. All of our hard work paid off. Really nice. I participated also in Athens when the first global came to Greece, where we took the fourth place in the winning alliances, in general and the rankings. So it's nice to have a medal this time.
That's a very full, I would say, robotics career. And it's so nice it started with something such small as FLL. Did your decision in joining FLL in 5th grade make you wanna pursue an engineering career?
So let's be real here. FLL changed my life. Like from fifth grade, when I got the chance to experience this competition, all the robots, even if it's Legos and the innovation project really excited me. All this stuff, when you do it together for the first time as a little kid, when you haven't experienced something alike before, it's really great. And that was, I think, the start of my love for robotics because before that I did, some do and some FLL Explore and stuff. Um, but the whole part of the competition, because you are cooperating with the other teams. There is no such thing as bad competition there. Uh, that was the greatest part, and I I think that practically I've shown that I love this competition by participating so many years, and even now when one step from my big exams for the university, I decided to participate even as a mentor because I think that every child has to experience at least once something like this. It's an international competition, even though it happens in Greece. You can feel the spirit.
Sure, I mean, you tell that it's an experience that every child needs to, feel for themselves. Uh, does this experience of, designing a robot and then a project and then cooperating with each other normalizes the frustration in engineering work? Do you believe that?
Totally. In Greece, in general, the whole way that robotics works, even in the national robotics team, um, I think it's like a representation of the world, the professional world, your professional career, but in an idealistic way because uh, as children, as teens, even as teens, we don't want to hurt each other. We don't want only our benefit. We have ambition, and that's what we are fighting for, to achieve things, but all together, and we work as a team. Sometimes a competition, okay, like you have to be a little bit secretive or do some things that you will not be proud of. But at the end of the day, the values, the core values, as first says, that we should represent, teach us to never step on someone's shoes, to uh, be able to step forward.
Competition first may be a little bit idealistic, but it still preserves the realistic enough values of barriers you need to overcome. So at that stage of your robotic career, FLL, what was the greatest barrier you had to overcome and what did you learn from it?
So I'd like to make a clarification. Like this ideal competition, as I said, comes from the respect of the children, the participants, like children, teens, and mentors. Uh, they respect the core values, and that's why the whole competition uh, reaches such a high level for me. So about the barriers, first of all, the first years you have to understand how to cooperate with each other, like as a team, work effectively, and the work ethics to understand that when I come back from school, I'll do my homework and I'll do my robotics presentation for the innovation project, for example. Um, because when you're little, you are not used to anything like that. Rather than that, a really big barrier, not only the FLL, because it is in the FLL, it is about the innovation project, but in FTC, uh, the one big problem is about the funding and the budget that some teams have and some other teams do not have. Like it's really hard to compete with teams that have such a large budget. They can buy literally anything. You have to fight to find sponsors and fight for what you want and find other ways to get it or make some or to come up with an innovative solution. And that's really great because it teaches you also resilience. It teaches you to look for other paths if there is you can find any other ways. Um, the whole point, like a big barrier right now in Greece and in the robotics field, is the impact of someone's economical situation in their education in general. But a really great thing is that in the first global, because in the participation fee, there is the two kits that you receive. You are not able to use any more things, any more tools. No tools you are allowed to use any more like equipment rather than the things they give you. So there is equity, and that's really great for me. That's something that I really admire about the competition, First Global, and that's why there is unity in the First Global. One team will not be jealous of the other because they had such a support behind them.
Now, you started talking about the difference between FLL and FGC, which, yeah, you got both of these experiences, but on the timeline, how did you decide that now it was the time to take the plunge and sign up for FDC?
Really nice question. The answer is even funnier because I was in the FLL and there was a QR code. And Mr. Vasiliou, the president of EDVAC, the non-governmental organization that organizes the whole thing, the whole national team, um, he told us to scan it, and there were choices. One of them was participation in the national robotics team, and I just filled up the form, not knowing if I would get in, just to have the opportunity to be able to go if they take me. And such a small thing, I thought it was such a small choice, came became like my most one of my most important factors right now for my journey. And because I scanned one QR code, I just traveled to Panama. It's really great if you like think about it.
Wow, that's like the butterfly effect. One small choice has like huge implications.
Exactly.
Speaking of FGC, how was Panama? How do you compare it to Athens?
Whoa. Like for me, I didn't get the chance to like see Panama on the last day of our team trip because we were always in the competition, when we came and played and we were so tired that we would sleep. Like I, I slept from 9 to 9 every day, 9 to 8, 11 hours every day. So good my sleep. I was really tired, but the whole event, the whole unity that you feel, first global, even in Athens and both in Athens and in Panama, was a great experience and unmatched experience. Like even an international competition from FTC and FLL cannot be compared as you feel the emotion of representing your country, one that that is a really important factor. And then every team, it feels like Olympics. I can describe it in any other way. What I really like about FGC, rather than the part about the kids and the whole equity stuff, it is about um, how it represents every year. Uh, so uh, what I really like about FGC, rather than the whole stuff about the kids and the equipment and the equity, it is that every year there is a different theme. You have to do a new technology experience to like the innovation project, which I really like, and it's not part of the FTC. And what really excites me is that in the field the whole like both six robots, both two alliance form a global alliance and they work together. And right now the field this year had the barriers that were the global barriers that teams, the nations should cooperate to mitigate them and remove them from the ecosystems. The whole thing that it represents the world and the cooperation of the nations. And even when I see teams like there were nations that may have a conflict with each other, and I see them like work together and find solutions, and they set their differences apart, even if, as I said, there is a conflict between it, like that shocked me. That's why I repeated. I repeated it. Um, the that the global unity is the most important thing, the most amazing thing about First Global.
Yeah, exactly. You know, cooperation is a very big part of all of this first competition. So, on a personal level, how did you cooperate with other nations and how did you feel cooperating on such a global scale?
First Global, I had the chance again as a VFTC to be the captain of the team, of the driving team. That's my favorite position. And that comes by the strategic point and the whole cooperation and communication. First of all, about the strategy, every information I just gave you about how I understood the field this year came because I read the game manual and had to understand the whole field, the whole game, to score the highest points. Um, the strategy in general, I really like it. Like I love strategic games, even video games, and I really like sports. That is why I think that strategy is a big factor that helps people understand that robotics is truly a sport. The whole first motors. And also before every game, I would gather up all the six teams, including us, and we would ask them what is wrong with your robot, like if you need help in anything, and there were five of us, and we were separated in the five teams to help them even with their ascent mechanism, for example, this year. Uh, the whole point that they ask for help, we give them help. Some times even teams, we had the chance to only have an alliance with one big team, Venezuela, and that was really great because we saw that they all Venezuela was the winner in the alliances, and they worked just like us. They wanted communication, they wanted cooperation. Uh, for this year, for example, there was two cases, two scenarios. You would either fill each ecosystem and have a distribution with the same number of balls in each ecosystem. There were three baskets for anyone that doesn't know. Or you would shoot every ball in the easy basket. There were multipliers. You would get uh, zero point 0.5 multiplier if you put only one, and one a multiplier of one if you shoot in the three baskets. And the teams that wanted to cooperate and set a difficult goal because to understand how many balls it's in each basket and count them, it's a goal. As you know, it's hard, it's difficult, uh, and these teams managed to come to the top. That's why um, I love that always in the field they try to make it so the one that cooperates will be the winner. And that's what we tried this year and managed to get the Zhangking Award.
So, team captain, this must be a very difficult role. And, to be able to do that kind of difficult things, you need to have a certain mentality. So, what kind of mentality did you have that fueled yourself to go from FLL all the way up to FGC, captain of the team?
Oh, George, that's a really nice question. I'll tell you when I find out. Um, I haven't thought about it, like the mentality. Such a deep question, as you know. What comes to me when I think of these, first of all, about the work ethics that I told you that I build on through FLL, and everyone that goes through FLL build. And rather than that, I can answer you specifically. I will tell you two things that I'm proud of. One person in a personal level, and one the FGC, for example. Personally, I'm really proud of my routine, the way that I see what I do every day, my daily program, as you know. So I've picked up many hobbies and try to have many curriculars to be like a multi-dimensional person. I don't want to just do robotics, and that's what got me to be the captain. I think that I was able to communicate with the teams. The fact that I know some foreign languages, for example, because in the FTC, one barrier that I had to face is that not everyone speaks English. There were people that only spoke French, Spanish, um, and that was a really challenging part, but we managed anyway. Um, Even that for that, I started doing Duolingo last year for Spanish lessons. Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway, um, and rather than that, about mentality, what I'm proud of my mentality and our team's mentality for First Global, and what I try to pass on in every team that I have is to know that you can work independently, for example, to solve the whole field independently, just individually, just for your own robot can solve the whole field, but also want to cooperate to score a high score. Like the whole point of capability and working together is the secret formula for success, I think.
When talking about the innovation project, you slightly tapped into the differences between FTC and FGC. So, what are the differences did you notice? And what are the differences that someone that, doing the same journey as you must pay attention to?
The most important thing is about the budget. As I noted before, um, the whole point that you can create everything in FGC. You can use any equipment you want. Um, it's something that is exciting and something that is that makes you be creative with your whole equipment and stuff, and the 3D designs, even CNC. But at the same time, some teams may not be competitive because they don't have the resources, the adequate resources. Um, but there are ways to fight it. There are sponsorship programs for teams, and that's something really hopeful for the whole first community and robotics. Even in Greece, something positive, something insightful in general. Um, and another difference, as you said before, is the innovation project that there is in the FGC, but not in FTC. There is in FLL, the innovation project. But because all of these children from first, they have the same values. They want the same things. They want to be innovators. They want to be future engineers, future builders, and they will be intrigued by the idea of making something that can be implemented in the real world. And that's why with Thunderbolts, with some other teams, organized the hackathon, where in the last year's submerged, last year's theme, we had to find solutions about the oceans, about the protection of the oceans and the protection of the biodiversity of oceans. Um, that really, that is one thing that I really like, that all the teams, they value the same things, they want the same things, and they have the same goals, and there is a shared perspective in the first programs.
You know, you've compared a lot the work ethic of Team Greece to FTC. Do you believe that a Greek FTC scene will have an impact on, the FTC Team Greece?
It's not something that I think, it is proven. Like from when FTC started uh, becoming a thing in Greece, which happened last year in 2024. It was the first Greek competition, national Greek competition, and the team, with me and some people that were part of FTC teams, we managed to get the best place we've ever had in FGC, the fourth place in rankings and in the alliances. So it's something that is proven. And when the competition of First Technology Challenge becomes greater, the resources, and while I'm saying resources, I mean people that you will take for the 5-member mission of First Global will be even stronger and will be separated, will be chosen by a more capable 100 people, because the national team is, uh, there are 100 members. Um, but uh, the at the same time, because the the whole team, it is 100 members, and it is not just the five are representatives. They work all together, and if you have a nice base, you're sure for the outcome that you will have in the competition. That's why this year, with 2 years of FTC, we managed to have the Zhang Heng Award, to have a decent robot performance, and to be nominated in the top 10 finalists for the New Technology Experience. Also, we got the Social Media Award, for example. Um, if you see it generally, it was a really great year for FGC, and you can see the rise up of the whole competition and the spirit and the mentality, as you said, of the students.
The FTC in Greece has been only for 2 years. This is actually the third season of the Greek FTC Championship. So, do you believe that there is future in the Greek FTC?
Totally. Like robotics in Greece, just, and will not be speaking about greater forces like governments or organizations and stuff, just by the people, by the children, that the teams, uh, the people that I went to the journeys with, that I have cooperated with. I know that they love robotics. They want to pursue engineering as a career, the whole STEM field, and that's why I truly believe that in Greece, if we take advantage of the whole robotics passion that we have, we are able to achieve great things. Like speaking even in greater steps from universities to innovation in Greece and industry. Um, and that's why, because I know the mentality of the students and their passion for what they do, I know that there will be future. Because even if there are barriers, they will do whatever they can to mitigate them, as we do in the first global.
This is the final question before I let you go. If a kid, saw your work, saw what you have accomplished, FDC, FLL, FTC, everything, and said, I want to continue your legacy, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
That's an even deeper question. Like, let me think. So I tell them that they should aim high. They should set goals that may seem unachievable, but everything is possible right now. And when I say everything, everything. Personally, I had some goals and they were stopped by factors that I don't think should be an obstacle to any children's dream. And that's why I want to illuminate any barrier in children's ability to dream. Like they have to achieve their true potential, to not be wasted talents because of the resources. And that's what I like. By this experience, if he takes my legacy as you noted it, they should use the whole experience for their benefit and aim high, use the resources that are given to them to aim high and achieve many things. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I think everyone should do, not only in this field but in the whole world. Just aim big.
Thank you, Tasos. That was a great interview, especially the last one.
It was nice to learn things about myself right here, right now.
Yeah, of course, and that's it. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Δεν πρέπει να φαίνομαι εγώ.